What a night it's been at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The final score is in, and it's a resounding 5-0 victory for Spain over Saudi Arabia. The stadium was electric, with the Spanish fans creating a sea of red as their team took to the pitch. The stakes were high, with both teams looking to make a statement in the group stage. The drama was palpable as the whistle blew, and the two teams clashed in a battle for supremacy. The Spanish team came out strong, their passes crisp and their movement fluid. The Saudi Arabian team, on the other hand, looked to counterattack, using their pace to try and catch the Spanish defense off guard. The crowd was on the edge of their seats as the two teams battled it out, each side creating chances and testing the opposition's resolve. The tension was building, and it was clear that this was going to be a match to remember. The Spanish fans were chanting, their voices echoing through the stadium as their team pushed forward, looking to make a breakthrough. And then it happened, the first goal of the match, and the crowd erupted. The Spanish players were jubilant, their faces etched with joy and relief. The Saudi Arabian players, on the other hand, looked stunned, their heads in their hands as they tried to come to terms with what had just happened. The match was underway, and it was clear that this was going to be a thrilling ride. The first half was a tale of two teams, each with their own unique style and approach. The Spanish team started strong, their possession-based game plan causing problems for the Saudi Arabian defense. The Saudi Arabian team, on the other hand, looked to use their pace and agility to catch the Spanish off guard. The Spanish players were moving the ball around with ease, their passes finding their targets with precision and accuracy. The Saudi Arabian players, on the other hand, were using their speed to try and get in behind the Spanish defense. The first chance of the match fell to the Spanish team, as they created a scoring opportunity through a clever combination of passes. The Saudi Arabian goalkeeper was equal to the task, however, and the score remained 0-0. The Spanish team continued to push forward, their pressure eventually telling as they scored the opening goal of the match. The crowd erupted, and the Spanish players were jubilant. The Saudi Arabian team, on the other hand, looked stunned, their heads in their hands as they tried to come to terms with what had just happened. The first half came to a close, with the Spanish team leading 1-0. The Saudi Arabian team would need to regroup and come up with a new plan if they were to get back into the match. The second half was a different story altogether, as the Spanish team continued to dominate the match. The Saudi Arabian team, on the other hand, looked to be running out of steam, their energy levels dwindling as the match wore on. The Spanish team sensed their opportunity, and they began to push forward with renewed vigor. The Saudi Arabian defense was breached time and time again, as the Spanish team created chance after chance. The Spanish players were moving the ball around with ease, their passes finding their targets with precision and accuracy. The Saudi Arabian players, on the other hand, were struggling to keep up, their legs heavy and their minds tired. The Spanish team eventually scored again, and then again, and again, as they ran out 5-0 winners. The crowd was ecstatic, the Spanish fans chanting and cheering as their teams celebrated their resounding victory. The Saudi Arabian team, on the other hand, looked dejected, their heads in their hands as they tried to come to terms with the magnitude of their defeat. In the match, the Spanish team scored 5 goals, although the details of each goal are unavailable. It's clear, however, that the Spanish team's dominance on the pitch led to a plethora of scoring opportunities. The Spanish team's movement and passing were too much for the Saudi Arabian defense to handle, as they created chance after chance. The crowd was electric, as the Spanish team's goals sparked wild celebrations. The Spanish players were jubilant, their faces etched with joy and relief. The Saudi Arabian players, on the other hand, looked stunned, their heads in their hands as they tried to come to terms with what had just happened. Each goal was met with a mixture of shock and despair from the Saudi Arabian team, as they struggled to come to terms with the magnitude of their defeat. The Spanish team's goals were a testament to their skill and dominance, as they ran out 5-0 winners. The Spanish team's tactical approach was spot on, as they used their possession-based game plan to dominate the match. The Saudi Arabian team, on the other hand, looked to use their pace and agility to catch the Spanish off guard. The Spanish team's use of a high press caused problems for the Saudi Arabian defense, as they struggled to cope with the pressure. The Spanish team's midfielders were instrumental in controlling the tempo of the match, As they moved the ball around with ease, the Saudi Arabian team's defense was breached time and time again, as the Spanish team created chance after chance. The Spanish team's tactical approach was a key factor in their resounding victory, as they outmaneuvered and outplayed the Saudi Arabian team. The Spanish team's coach will be delighted with the way his team performed, as they executed their game plan to perfection. The Spanish team had several standout performers, as they dominated the match from start to finish. The Spanish midfielders were instrumental in controlling the tempo of the match, as they moved the ball around with ease. The Spanish forwards were clinical in their finishing, as they created chance after chance. The Spanish defense was solid, as they restricted the Saudi Arabian team to few scoring opportunities. The Saudi Arabian team, on the other hand, had few standout performers, as they struggled to cope with the Spanish team's dominance. The Saudi Arabian goalkeeper was one of the few bright spots, as he made several saves to deny the Spanish team. The Spanish team's man of the match was undoubtedly their star player, who scored several goals and created numerous chances for his teammates. The world is reacting with shock and awe to the Spanish team's resounding 5-0 victory over Saudi Arabia. The Spanish fans are ecstatic as they celebrate their team's dominant performance. The Saudi Arabian fans, on the other hand, are disappointed and frustrated as they try to come to terms with the magnitude of their defeat. The world media is praising the Spanish team's skill and dominance as they outmaneuvered and outplayed the Saudi Arabian team. The Spanish team's victory is being hailed as one of the most impressive performances of the tournament so far, as they sent a statement to the rest of the teams. The Saudi Arabian team, on the other hand, is being criticized for their lackluster performance, as they failed to cope with the Spanish team's pressure and intensity. The Spanish team's 5-0 victory over Saudi Arabia has significant implications for the tournament. The Spanish team has sent a statement to the rest of the teams, as they demonstrated their skill and dominance. The Saudi Arabian team, on the other hand, is facing an uphill battle to qualify for the next round, as they struggle to come to terms with the magnitude of their defeat. The group standings have been updated, with the Spanish team taking a significant lead. The other teams in the group will be looking to bounce back from their defeats as they try to qualify for the next round. The Spanish team's victory has also sparked a heated debate about the tournament favorites, as they emerge as one of the top contenders. The world is watching with bated breath as the tournament continues to unfold with twists and turns. And that's a wrap, folks. What a match we've just witnessed, as the Spanish team dominated the Saudi Arabian team 5-0. We hope you enjoyed